Welcome back to not so exciting Iron United review. It's not been much like this. Maybe it's the old West Ham reviews we were doing of last season. Just witnessed West Ham get beat 2-0, convincingly 2-0 by Burnley at Turf Moor. Make sure you get your comments in below. Let us know your thoughts on the game. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our thoughts on the game. Matt, I mean, were you confident going into today's game?
Yeah, I think most people were. Burnley conceded 42 goals this season. Obviously, we've been playing really well. This is like our best month ever. So I suppose that was probably the problem. Maybe everyone was too confident. Maybe, I don't know. Like, everyone was thinking. I didn't think we'd come away with a minimum. I thought we'd get at least a point minimum. Like, if we had a bad day. But this was just disastrous.
It reminded me so much of the Brighton game, to be honest. We went into the Brighton game with confidence, and we just didn't turn up. And you wrote in the group, Matt, you said this is very different to the Watford defeat because Watford didn't massively deserve that victory, but Burnley absolutely did deserve that victory, a bit like what Brighton did. What was it? What do you think it was that West Ham just didn't turn up today?
But yeah,
because we didn't turn up.
We didn't. Let's be honest. Fully, Burnley deserved that win. Like I said, in the Watford game, I thought we were unlucky. We should deserve the point in the Burnley game.
Yeah.
Whereas the first meaningful thing Heaton had to do was a save from Carroll in the 89th minute.
Yeah.
Like, for a team that's conceded that many goals, to not have a shot of any meaning until then was just embarrassing. But was it the tactics? I don't know. Like, were they leggy from Southampton? Maybe. Because a lot of the guys that played there did play. We didn't really rotate that much. Maybe that was it. But
maybe it was their Christmas dinner and all their seconds and thirds, and
maybe
it was a Christmas hangover. It was really. Let's get into the team selection. We were boosted, whether or not you see that as a boost or not, with the news that Arnautovic was starting, which for me was, we'd heard kind of brief rumours in the week that he was going to be available for selection, then he wasn't going to be played, he was maybe going to be subbed, but he started. Was that a shock to you?
Yeah, I didn't think he'd start. I didn't, like I said, like you said, I'd heard he'd probably maybe make the bench, which you were like, oh, if he's only going to make the bench, maybe don't risk him. And all of a sudden he's like, no, he's starting. And so at that point, you would have thought that would have been a huge boost for us. And you thought Burnley would have been cacking themselves like, oh, crap, Arnautovic is back. On the scheme of things, you'd wish he hadn't played because... Yeah. No offence to him, but he looked like he hadn't played in a month. Like, it looked like it.
He absolutely did. Team selection, Matt, Balbuena didn't make it. Ogbonna started. Let's start with the defence. Ogbonna and Diop today were not at the races. They were terrorised by Barnes and Wood all game. Did that surprise you? Because it surprised me.
No, because Shane Long done it when he come on at Southampton the other day. They're happy with guys going down the wingers, and leaving fullbacks to deal with it, and happy with balls coming down the middle. But it only against Southampton. If the centre forward makes that run between the fullback and the centre back, they don't know what they're supposed to do. They don't know. They're like, do I follow him and leave the space in the middle, or do I leave it for the fullback? And that's all they did. That's what they kept doing. And like the first goal, one went into the centre back, one made the run down the gap in the channel. He one header, flicked it on, they scored. And they just were not comfortable. I don't know if it's the fact that that's only the fourth game this season that Diop and Ogbonna have played together. I
don't want to be like a total, but I've made my voice perfectly clear regarding Ogbonna, and I don't rate him, mate. And I know that Pellegrini is putting a lot of faith into a lot of these players, and they've been doing all right. But I think Ogbonna, when he's come in, has been doing all right against not the greatest of opposition, where West Ham have been on form, and when West Ham don't turn up like we didn't today. Someone had made a comment before saying, we didn't have the midfield to protect us today because the midfield didn't play well. But when you look at the two goals in particular, Matt, the two of them were pretty much balls that were over the midfield's head. That yourself that the centre halves. Ogbonna should have dealt with that header. Yeah, he's coming up against a big lad, but you see the height he got to. He literally, his feet came off the ground that much.
Even if he didn't,
then Diop, secondly, should have let the guy run the channel or run.
Well, that's the exact point I'm making.
Yeah,
like they don't seem to know.
They don't have that communication at all.
If the ball goes up to the centre forward, like Ogbonna should have, even if Ogbonna didn't win the header, he should have made it more difficult that guy could have made a good pass.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But Shane Long, like when Shane Long came on against us in the other day, he does the same thing. He makes that run that's not directly down the line. It's not directly behind the back line. It goes in the gap between the fullback and the centre back.
And they don't.
And that first goal, Diop sort of looked at him like, "Do I follow him? Or do I not?"
They don't have
and
that.
In the end, they did nothing.
They don't have that communication skill set together at all because, like you said, when you watch the game quite a lot, you see Ashley Barnes sitting floating in between the two of them, and no one's communicating at all. Like Diop, Ogbonna, Creswell, or Antonio, they were sitting in between both fullbacks and the centre halves all game because they were getting so much space left, right, and centre. And it looked like Diop, when he was running out to clear the ball, wasn't confident in Ogbonna, and when Ogbonna was running out to clear the ball, wasn't confident in Diop. It's like they just can't seem to build a partnership, and and yeah, we've been winning some games with them, but I've not been massively confident in their performances. And then with the second goal in particular, okay, it was a crap clearance from Ogbonna. They should have done better. And of course, I'm sitting here slating him for it. But the cross came in over again. We just couldn't deal with it. We couldn't deal with it, especially at the back post.
Well, that's really, I think that's been our weakness all season. Crosses, crosses and set pieces. We don't seem to like it unless we catch them offside. If we can get a high line, we're fine. But if it comes in, we don't really seem to. Which is weird because Ogbonna used to be such a good header of the ball. This is the thing. Like if you remember back to like the last season of the Blin, that was one thing Ogbonna was good at. But like, yeah, maybe it was Zabaleta. Maybe it was Zabaleta. Maybe Zabaleta organising the back four. Maybe that's what it was. You know,
I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of the partnership that Balbuena and Diop have made, and
maybe they just know
we've got that standard now, and we're expecting that standard game in and game out. And I think we're definitely crying out for Balbuena to come back, but we need to really resolve that because if one of them does get injured, like Balbuena is, we need to feel confident that the player that steps in, and that's showing the fact that we maybe have the weakness. And for me personally, in that squad in that position, I
think it's Brighton on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'd honestly be tempted to put Declan Rice alongside Diop if Balbuena's not fit.
If Balbuena's not fit, I would make. Yeah. That's exactly what I would say, and you don't want to lose out on that on Declan Rice. But I think I don't want to go another game like that.
No,
that was crap. Midfield. Mark Noble started again today. I mean, he was non-existent today. I mean, there was a lot of players that were non-existent. But let's just get on to Mr. West Ham, Mark Noble.
I don't want to say badly because there's a lot of people that still love him, but he can be very inconsistent.
Yeah,
there's games when he comes on and he'll play exceedingly well, and there's some games where he is like non-existent. Like today, he was he just wasn't in the game at all.
Yeah.
And the problem is like you said, Arnautovic wasn't in the game. But when you're only playing one role, it's fine. But when you're the leader of the team, you can't afford to be non-existent. You have to do he needs to grab him by the scruff of the neck when they're playing shit and saying, "Come on now, you need to get your heads together." Whereas I don't know, he like sort of receded in and was getting worse and worse as the game went on.
Declan Rice, I thought, he was probably the best performer today, but no one performed well. He was covering a lot, but I felt sorry probably for him. I thought Antonio had a decent game. Thought he was covering quite a lot for the mistakes that we were making throughout the whole of the park. But the biggest thing I want to talk about is, we started with Perez, Arnautovic, Snoddy and Anderson. And for me, Bardsley smashed Anderson in the first half and let him know he was there. And Anderson seemed to just panic. And
he was not interested at all.
Yeah.
In the first 15 minutes. And it's the same sort of thing Zabaleta normally does. I think Zabaleta done it against Man United to Martial, and then Martial wasn't interested. Sometimes you get these foreign wingers and they do not like being bullied. And in the first 15 minutes, and Bardsley just old school absolutely clattered him through the back of him twice.
Yeah.
And after that, Anderson just went, I really don't fancy that again. So anytime Bardsley got within 10 yards of him, Anderson passed the ball off. It rocked his confidence entirely. And of course, at the moment when he doesn't play well, we don't play well.
I think I wrote a comment in our group saying that Perez reminds me of Caleri. I just don't see it. I just don't know what it is that he massively offers. Someone had written a while ago saying that he finds himself in great positions.
But, the thing is,
but does he? I don't know. Is he too weak? Is he not made for the Premier League? In my opinion, I don't know. I don't get it.
I think Mark Noble writes every Friday. He writes in the London Standard, the Evening Standard or something. He does like the local London newspaper, might be the Metro or something. He does an article. And in one of them, he said he was like, he's the most lethal finisher he's ever seen in training.
Yeah, that's all right, mate. But so was Zaza.
But but it's like, he said his left foot's absolutely lethal. And you're like, well, he's not doing anything. Like, you look at the chance he had against Southampton, he absolutely shanked that. Not the second one was unlucky, he got blocked. But like today,
he's getting more game time, though, you know. We feel like sometimes I do him injustice, but he is getting more game time. I find that this scenario is slightly different to the Chicharito thing, because I felt like Chicharito played a game, was dropped a game, was played a game, was dropped a game, where I find that Perez has been given a run of games, and I just don't literally see, apart from the game against Cardiff, what he's really offering to West Ham up top, because...
It's hard, because again, I don't think... Like, let's be honest, they had Wood and Barnes up top. And Wood's job is to batter the centre-backs, and Barnes' job is to run the channels. And they know that's what their jobs are, and you know that when they come on the pitch, that is what they're going to do.
But we're also talking about a Burnley side that's struggling, Matt. Massively struggling.
Can't even score goals. I don't know what Perez's job actually is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what his job in... Like, you know, when Arnie's fitting on it, he'll run the back line, he'll create, but he'll hassle defenders, he'll run... Perez, I don't really know if... Does he link up? Is he a second striker?
He just looks really weak, mate. Listen, guys, if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying... agree with what Matt's saying, let us know in the comments below. Put the comments in. Do you agree that... I mean, do you think Perez is good enough for West Ham? Do you think he offers us anything? Do you think that Arnautovic shouldn't have played today? I mean, Matt, on that, do you think we should have probably started... I mean, maybe contradictory to what I'm just saying, but Perez and Antonio up top?
I suppose, I mean, hindsight's a great thing. We all looked at it. When we saw it, we were like, we'd be buzzing that Arnie started.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
I suppose at the end of the day, you've got to wipe it under the floor now. You know, like we did against Watford. Get rid of the game and then go again next game. Yeah. So at least he got 60 minutes, 65 minutes. So he's got to run out. So maybe when he gets to Brighton, he'll be a bit sharper.
Well, that's probably the positive we need to take from the game. I mean, that Arnautovic did get minutes, and we didn't have to save that, I suppose. I mean, yeah, okay, it's the detriment to West Ham losing the game. Not saying it's just blaming it on Arnautovic, you know. Of course it's not. No one turned up today. Fabianski kept us in the game, to be honest, mate. We could have...
He's the only other person that did turn up.
Yeah, we could have been beaten 5 or 6.
Oh, it should have been 6 or 7.
And this is coming from a Burnley side, mate, that's been getting absolutely smashed week in, week out. That aren't scoring goals, that aren't conceding. I mean, this is going to kickstart probably their season. I mean,
the problem they've got now, and one of the guys in commentary said it, is that they set themselves a standard now.
Yeah.
Because that was to be fair to them, that was their best performance this season.
Yeah.
And they earned it. And that was like the Burnley of last season.
Another bit of news that came out of the game today was the debut from Silva, Portuguese young lad that's been playing in the development squad, been doing really well. Came on for 20 minutes. What was your thoughts? I mean, he didn't do much, but is that a sign that Pellegrini sees something in him, or?
Well, I mean, credit to Pellegrini, because he is giving the youth players a chance. Like, he has, you know. And again, it's another youth player this season who's had an opportunity. He started, you know, he's got on the pitch. He didn't offer much, but then again, as we said, when you've got nothing in the midfield and nothing attacking to offer anything, there's not much you can do about it. I mean, he had a shot that nearly got deflected. On another day, it probably would have deflected in. It went over the bar.
Yeah.
But he was there, and he ran around. I mean, I don't know how much link-up play he's done in training with Carroll. I'd imagine he's probably done more since Carroll's not been around that much. It's probably more Hernandez than Arnautovic. But it's only 20 minutes. And he didn't look good, didn't look bad. You need to see more of him in a game when we're actually attacking and we're moving the ball about. You can't really justify what he's done on the fact that he came on for 20 minutes in the game when we didn't have a shot on target, you know, really until like the 89th minute.
What's disappointing is the fact that Burnley came off of having lost 6 of the last 7 league games. West Ham have won 5 over the last 6, and you know, I suppose like you said, Matt, it's typical West Ham. I think it's more. Do you know what? To be honest, it's probably more of a reality check. And as fans, as West Ham fans, you know, we always get carried away. We can't help ourselves, and we probably need that reality check sometimes to go, right, okay, everything's not so rosy, and we still have a lot of work to do.
I mean, where are we? 9th, 11th?
Yeah, we got away with it. We got away with this result today because results went all right for us yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
but if you'd said to us after 4 games at the start of the season the coming midway point, you know, we'd be on 27 points. We'd have been laughing.
Yeah, we would have been laughing.
Because it was all doom and gloom after the first 4 games.
Yeah.
So you said it's a reality check, but I think it was for the players as much as the fans, because the players sort of turned up today thinking they were just going to stroll it. And Burnley were like, there's no easy game in the Premier League, let's be honest.
Yeah.
There isn't. And the guys turned up to going, oh, it's Burnley, they're in the bottom 3, you've shipped this many goals, we're just going to walk it. And Burnley went, well, you're fucking not. We're going to roll up, you know, and they did. They rolled up their sleeves, they hustled, they harried everything down, and they deserved to win. And we look like the team in the bottom 3 today.
I'll put my hand up. I predicted a crazy victory. I thought we were going to win 4-1 today, and I was absolutely shot down. And
I thought it had been like 2-1, but
yeah, would be surprised a lot of West Ham fans probably think the same. Listen, guys, do you think I'm right or wrong in blaming players like Ogbonna, Perez? Did Mark Noble deserve to start? I mean, he should have came off or during the game. I don't know. Was it right to give Silver the run out? Was it right to start Arnautovic? Please let us know in the comments below. Matt, I mean, there's no point in going on about this because we're depressed enough as it is, especially after a fantastic... You know, it's not a feeling we're used to over the last month. You know, but what do we do now? We've got Brighton and Birmingham next. Swipe this under the carpet and move on. We have to.
Like they done it after the Watford game. They've got to do it again.
Yeah.
You've got to swipe it away, go again. Maybe, I mean, hopefully, I know Zabaleta's been ill, so hopefully he's back. Rotate the team a bit because the team did look leggy.
Yeah.
I mean, that was almost the exact same team. I think he dropped Obiang and brought in Snodgrass. Not Snodgrass. He brought Obiang and brought in Noble.
But Noble's missing for the next game. He picked up a yellow card, so he's going to be suspended for the Brighton game. That gives Pellegrini another opportunity to mix up that midfield, which I think's probably needed. I'm not sitting here slagging off Mark Noble left, right, and centre because, like you said, Matt, he gives us some world-beating games and then disappears in a few games. So.
I will say I did feel sorry for Obiang. I didn't think he did anything wrong to get dropped for the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, Pellegrini decided he wanted to go with, I guess, Rice and Noble's his first choice midfield too.
Yeah, it seems to be. But I tell you what, for me personally, I really do hope Balbuena gets back. We can bring him back in and regain that partnership with Diop. I hope Zabaleta comes back because I think we're a lot more secure with those two in defence. And it's been interesting to see what he really does moving up top. Will he start Arnautovic again? He's had 60 minutes. I think it's a no-brainer. I think he will. Will Chicharito come back in time for the Brighton game? We don't know, but I hope so because I could see him. And like to. I think. Do you know what the funny thing is? I actually think we missed a Chicharito today because there was a couple of balls that just floated around in the box that the Burnley defenders just. I mean, I'm not saying he's the saving grace, but you kind of sometimes, you know, there was a lot of balls today that floated around the Burnley box with the Burnley players just sweeping it up. No one else to be there, and you kind of want a Chicharito just hanging about that box. And I think that allows, you know, Anderson, Snodgrass and Arnautovic to float around and do what they had to do. They had to work harder today and Arnautovic just wasn't home. Anyway, again, we've dragged on. Get your comments in below. Let us know. Hit the like, thumbs up button. Bit depressing. West Ham got beat 2-0. But let's, like as Matt said, move it under the carpet, move on, and we'll just continue sort of a football club. Matt, any last points before we go?
I said let's just forget it. Move on to Brighton. Just wipe it out of your memory. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
So, it was that bad. Just get rid of it, guys. Just forget it.
So don't watch this video.
Forget about it.
Don't watch this video. Right. Anyway, he's been Matt. I've been Anton. This is Irons United. Subscribe. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.